rare.
Good morning, folks. Oh, look at these flowers. So leaving Santa Cruz de Bezana. Now it is 6:45, it looks like. I had a little late start. I don't know why, actually I do know why. The people next door to the hotel could party all night. My window was open, I had earplugs in, my eye mask on, and I was wrestling mosquitoes. I was letting mosquitoes into it. I thought about that. Seeing like the different waterways around the hotel, I was like, huh, back home there'd be mosquitoes here. But no, not in Spain. Look at these houses. Aren't they curious? Anyways, so leaving town now, and had to find a way back and let me know. And like I said, if you can see a church, if you see the steeple in the distance, you don't even need to look at your map. Just go there first. Whenever you're in any town off the Camino, go to the church or the cathedral, and you will recalibrate. And sure enough, there's an arrow right here, and it looks like there's a sign up ahead on the corner. In the morning, I don't know what it is, my eyes tear up. I swear I'm not crying. These are tears of joy because I'm finally leaving this godforsaken place.
Did somebody say Santiago?
Cheers of joy because I'm finally leaving this godforsaken place. No, it's on, folks, but it seems like it's been like 2 days, well, a day and a half at least, of hiking through cities or towns, sidewalk walking. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I'd like to chillax. It's typical. Church not open, but if you'll see that sign right there? Now there's a piece of cardboard hanging over it, or tape or something. But to the end of that sign, the yellow arrow, you'll see an A. That's classic misdirection. That's sending you to an albergue. That's the A stands for. And I'll tell you right now, that albergue doesn't exist. So I should tear that sign down. But I won't. But I will put it on this video so you guys remember and are aware of that. A, if you see it on an arrow, it does not mean an alternative route. It means albergue. Okay, well that's enough for now. I need to focus, put my head down, and charge to the wind. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned it to you or not. I may have. But once I got to the hotel, I took a taxi back to Decathlon. The owner was chatting with a taxi driver. So I was like, hey. And I managed to get some new underwear and new socks. I wanted to get rubber tips too, that was part of the plan. But of course I spaced those out, it's all good. I don't need new rubber tips just whenever I'm in Europe. I like to stock up on those bad boys, as you know by now. Anyways, so I'll check back in a little bit when things get interesting. Or hairy. I will say one thing about this town is they really invest in their murals. I can only imagine there's probably graffiti on this at one time. They just decided to pay the graffiti artists to do something with their talent that benefited everyone. Very cool. It looks like all students that are doing this. Okay. There's an arrow. So I don't need to put you down and check the app. There's a cemetery. They always seem to be at the edge of town. Okay, folks, this is what I'm waiting for, some open road. Here you are. Hey, come with me. She's been looking for you. You trying to get away from me at this point? There's an old wall. Look at that. Okay, folks, we're clipping along. Sun to our backs, per usual. And I think we're going the right way. Again, could use a little more arrow love, but it is what it is. Oh, there they are. Look at that. What am I talking about? They're right there. There might be a pilgrim up ahead. Oh, it might be a post with a reflector on it. Or a bike with a reflector on it coming at me. Clearly I need to get my vision checked. And a cup of coffee. Anyways, folks, looks like there's a whole lot of this coming up, so I won't bore you with it. I will say corn and cows have been cheering me on my way out of town. Corn! So I got that going on. Anyways, I'll be back. Look at this, folks. It's a fire hydrant with a face. Look at that, it looks like it has a mouth and everything. It's called pareidolia.
When you see faces and inanimate objects, unintentional faces, just how our mind works.
That can happen on cameras too. You can actually see patterns and metaphors because you're really looking for things. You know, when you're looking for something, you can find it. Kinda. You know, my first Camino, everyone was having such profound experiences and whatnot, and I was having like something akin to Monty Python. I would be talking about the Smurfs randomly. Haven't seen the Smurfs in years. Turns out they're actually still popular here, I've learned after this, but haven't seen the Smurfs in years. Suddenly someone drives by me wearing a Smurfs. Oh no, walking by me in where was that? Logroño, dressed as a Smurf. Yeah. The same day I was talking about the Smurfs or something like that. I was also talking about the Cookie Monster at one point, and then someone rode by me on a bike immediately after wearing a Cookie Monster bicycle helmet. Yeah. Okay, you don't believe me yet? Okay, here's another one. What was her name? That was a friend I was hiking with last year who kept, every time he'd meet a girl, he'd ask her if her name was Elena? Maybe it was Elena. I can't recall exactly what the name was. But I was like, dude, why do you, is that like a pickup line where you come from? He was, you know, Danish. And so he was like, no. He's like, I met a girl on my first day here who asked me what my favorite band was of all time or something like that. And I couldn't think of it in the moment, but I have since. And I want to tell her, but I can't remember what she looks like. I only remember her name. So every girl we meet, that was kind of fit the description in his mind. He'd ask her that. And then he was like, but the weird thing is that's the name of my ex-girlfriend also. And I was like, oh, okay. That is weird. And then we were looking for, days later, and there were other pilgrims with us, and they were all aware of the story, but we were looking for a bar called Elena's or something like that. Again, I can't remember if that's the exact name, but for the sake of this conversation, we'll use that. And I was like, oh, we're going to find Elena's. And we're going to find Elena in Elena's. And he was like, we were laughing about that. And, you know, we got to Elena's.
Elena.
Yeah, we're standing in line for coffee. And there's two girls in front of him, and one girl's talking to the other. And he turns around to me, as white as a ghost. And he's like, I can't even tell them. It just sounds too weird. I was like, tell them what? It's like, one of them just called the other Elena. He's like, you need to stop with your strange Camino woo stuff. It was great. So, yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I seem to conjure up in the Camino. Nothing too profound or meaningful, but more like a superpower, I suppose. Okay. Apparently it's sending me to the train station. Let's see, I'm gonna check my map. Okay, so you saw all those signs and arrows pointing down there, right? There was even a Camino marker on the train station, but it's wrong. It shouldn't have sent me down there. I should have stayed on this road, which goes over an overpass. There's no way to cross down there. It's just train tracks. That's confusing. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do there. So here we are. Isn't it weird? Is it just me? But again, it's just super easy to get turned around here. So make sure you're walking with a group or really paying attention to your abs and not talking to a camera like a schmuck. Okay, folks. I'm gonna check my map again. Boo. No, folks, it's nothing scary. It's Boo de Lagos is what we're heading to. I don't actually know if it's pronounced Boo. I would imagine it's pronounced Bo with an extended O. Bo. It's a weird word. It's a weird looking Spanish word I've never seen before. So hopefully we can get someone to pronounce it for us when we're in the village if we stay long. It's now 7:30. I don't think anything will be open yet, so whatever. Now I'm on a bike trail and I will be on this for a short while, I think. Actually, it's not really a bike trail, it's a walking. It's a sidewalk, minus the curb. That's what they do in Spain. And yeah, eventually this will break off to the right. Not this sidewalk, but I'll need to take a right, it looks like, if I'm remembering the map correctly. Anyways, all this and more coming up. Look, a crane in the wild. Okay, again, I walked down there for a while before I realized I was going the wrong way, and I had to come all the way back here. And that sign I may or may not have seen before. I did see before, actually. But that is pointing to the left. There's no arrow indicating I need to go down this road. So I have an arrow that I'm going to stick on that sign to help future pilgrims, because this is starting to wear on me. Okay, hopefully that'll be more clear to the next guy. And there it is. Oh, you know what? Retracing my steps.
Killing me!
Okay, I'm a little bit of a schmuck. There were arrows on the ground. Okay, sometimes I overreact. But it did need an arrow, let's face it. For those not looking down. I mean, if I missed it, anyone else could too. More arrows. Here they are, people. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. I'm gonna go look at my map again, just in case. It's like stumbling onto a Disney movie or something. We had cows and birds hanging out together. Just checking me out. Hey cows. I see you up there, hanging out with your bird friends. Okay. The goal is not to get stuck to the tracks. Like a hill, there's always a rooster too to greet you in the morning. Let me consult my map to make sure I'm not supposed to like walk down the tracks or something absurd.
Pilgrim.
Spotted pony. Or something like that. I haven't seen anyone all morning, and I got a message from my WhatsApp for a friend from actually my first Camino asking me how it was going. So I stopped to send her some pictures, And while doing so, Pilgrim passes me and goes, "Hey," or "Hello," something in English. Another Americano. He's doing it in sandals. Air out the blisters, he says. I'm sure we'll see more of him later. How do we get over here? Oh, this smells bad. Poor old thing. It must get hot over there.
The juice is going to be flowing into the mic.
Trying to block it in my hand.
What's my heart? No?
Okay, yeah, but I can't hold the camera, so we're gonna have to suffer through this. Come on, we're on pilgrimage. In fact, turn the volume up. It's been a long walk, folks, and I realize only now that I don't. Everything I said before about my strap turning off my watch, suspecting the foam, imitating the touch of a pen on a tablet. I actually think it's when the watch asks if I'm done working out, I would like to pause or continue. I think what it's actually doing is stopping. If I don't respond to that message, it stops. So, what I've been now doing is something I typically do when I choose to manually pause without my watch's persistence, is I'll pause it, the timer, when I sit down and have some tortilla, coffee, or whatever. Rest, whenever I rest. And then set a timer for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, however long I think I'm going to be there. And then if I forget to turn it back on after I'm done eating, as soon as the alarm goes off, I turn it back on. So what I've been doing now is when my phone reminds me or asks me what I'm doing, if I've stopped or not, I pause it, then set a timer, and here we are. And since I've been doing that, I haven't noticed that the watch has been turned off or stopped, the timer rather than the watch. So I don't think it is my strap. That's my story currently. Okay. Wow. Now we're getting, it took a while to get out of the, I wouldn't say alley, but out of the urban and back truly into the countryside. And with that, I'm going to let you go for a bit. Enjoy this. Not that I wouldn't enjoy it up with your company. Actually, what the hell, I'll keep you up for a little while. It's just a lot down the hill. I'd like to use my sticks, but you know what? We'll take it up for the tea, because it's been a hot minute since you and I've had this time together. Yes, indeed, it gets intimate on this channel, doesn't it? I'm sorry. Again, I've just gorged myself on 2 tortilla, doused in hot sauce and pepper, black pepper, and some bread squirted with olive oil that I've been carrying. My supplements per usual, as well as a cacao bliss mixed into my Americano. You know, what I notice now when they dish out the Americanos after Santander is they'll give you the shots of espresso in 1 cup, and on the side they'll give you hot water so you can mix your own. That's new. Options. I respect that. So that's good because it's going to sound crazy, but I don't have to drink so much coffee before I mix in the cacao bliss. Because using that mixer, this time around, typically I bring a thermo with me, or a thermos, or some type of coffee travel mug thing when I do the francés. But on this trip, I chose not to, just to keep the weight down. And what I would do is typically transfer the coffee from my mug into the travel mug or thermos, and then do all my mixing of the concoction in there with the cacao bliss and my little electric hand mixer. Yeah, it's battery operated. But Now I have to like drink a certain amount of coffee, so there's enough room to use the mixer in there without it splashing everywhere, and it still kind of splashes most places. Okay, folks, I need to check my map. Good story though, right? And we're back, folks. Lower this wheel. So yeah, that was my breakfast. And I almost went over a bridge. I didn't have to. That little overpass right there. And though I could have taken that, it's not on my route. I would have been able to use the map, however, to cut through different... Well, let's not trust the map. Not that the map can't be trusted, but my reading of the map can't be trusted. So we're going to stay on the official alternate route, the red route on the Wise Pilgrim app, which sometimes is quicker, most of the time it's quicker, and sometimes just means it's a bicycle route. So I would imagine this to be both. I hope so. But whatever. I have an Alberta to get to. I'm already booked, so I don't really have a huge rush. I've just, I need a rest day. I really need to take a rest day, and I should have taken it to Santander yesterday, but pushing on through. But I'm wondering what the next big town is that's worth me sticking around for, where I can find things. Okay, is there one of these rando cars just sitting around? I guess there's people just working out, walking or cycling maybe. It's a nice car. I think I scared him. Okay, now I really need to take my rubber tips off. That means I have to turn you off, folks. I'll push on for a little while longer. How about that? I have to check too every now and then to make sure that my phone is recording. Because there's been a few times now where I thought I was doing these epic recordings. Guys, you missed out on so much. All the epic stuff happens when the camera's off. I'm telling you, big things are happening here. I'm behaving in a real cleverly way. But yeah. Well, it's like a small eucalyptus forest we're walking through. And the temperature dropped by like, I don't know, 10 degrees. It's just wonderful. Sorry, I had to look at my watch for the temperature. It's currently a balmy 62 degrees here in northern Spain. But it feels great in the shade. With a little bit of a breeze. Temperature's been all over the place today too. I could have started off with sleeves, not wool, but synthetic. So I say, if you're thinking of taking the weight down and not bringing a long sleeve with you or a jacket, bring sleeves at least. Some wool t-shirts and some synthetic sleeves. And a vest, obviously. I haven't used my vest yet, but if I need to, it's there. And it's packable. It's by Patagonia, and LL Bean also makes a packable one too. So I didn't know what to expect in the summertime, so I brought it. But I knew enough not to bring like a sweatshirt or a fleece or anything and that's jazz. But today I could have used the sleeves. It wasn't that cold, but it was colder than it normally has been. But within 20 minutes, I was up to temp. Okay, and now we're no longer parallel to a road. Okay, folks, looks like I'm going like this for a little bit, so I'm gonna pause. But I'll be back. Okay, folks, it's been a long day of a lot of street walking. I feel like I'm moving closer. I've taken a couple breaks, but I've really just been listening to this most epic book on audio called Shadow of the Wind. It's really good. A lot of it takes place in Barcelona at the turn of the last century, and it's a mystery, and it's captivating, and it's really funny at points too. It's got some great characters, and it's still developing as we go, but it's been tough to like put that down. You know what I mean? Look at the scenery. I got cows hiding, spying on me. I see you. That's right, go back to eating. There are no surprises here. But I think I'm almost there. She punched myself in the face. Not really, I did. I had my stick up. I was rubbing my eye and my stick was up. I caught on something and just, pushed my eye into my face. It can happen. It can happen. Look at these cows. All stoic. Okay, folks, I'm getting closer to Santillana del Mar with every step, and you're probably hearing wind. I'm wearing earbuds, so I'm not sure if they're picking up my voice or the phone is. If they're picking up my voice, that might be better, and you might not be hearing wind at all. So consider this a little experiment. It's going to be an interesting little village for sure. Village. I think that's the church. Okay. Back in my pocket you go. You wouldn't have been able to tell what year it was if that car hadn't driven by. I mean, this electricity doesn't look like it's been updated since the 1950s. These lamps, they almost look like they're gas. I don't see any bulbs in there. Here comes a weary pilgrim. Like in fairyland. Paseo de Velarde.
Claro, conoció Boliche, este vuelo, ¿no? Ah, ven. Bien.
The ancient t-shirt salesman.
Salen, vamos a 5 euro. So salen 7 euro, 6 cents.
This is gonna be a cool place to stay. Oh, Pinocchio. This is like a medieval Disney World. ¿Qué es esto?
Coge lo que quieras, es muy igual.
Ah, these things. Maybe I'll get another one for the house. This is probably what all of the Norte will eventually look like. Okay, I need to check my map, see where I'm checking in. El Jardín. Pincho de la casa.
It's at this point I realize the sounds around me, the ambience, is pure poetry. Possibly the purest poetry. Let it wash over you.
Oh look, footwear. There's Nero. such a cool burger. Second day with a tub. And second day with this ultra cool foot bath. I've kind of taken over this space. Okay, folks, here's the skinny.
Santillana
Del Mar is awesome. It is a trip back in time. This is where I'm going to spend an extra day, my 0 day. It is something else. It's something truly special. It's totally medieval, totally unique. Absolutely love it. Gonna have a great rest day. Now I'm walking like 14 minutes out of town to find a supermarket. I'll talk to you in a bit. Ciao. Okay, fully stocked up from the supermercado. Gonna eat well tonight. Got myself a cream raj. I know I got a bag of salad. Not even salad, just salad greens. And I got some tomatoes on top of that. What else I get? Cucumber, peppers, fruit, stuff to chop up and throw in a wrap. Got some tortilla of the Mexican variety, hummus, give me some spicy mustard. So, yeah, Pappy's gonna eat good tonight. I'm lately putting a lot of tortilla into my system of the Spanish variety. Getting a little bit of a throat thing. And this is typically how Camino Cop starts. So I'll have a Halls in my mouth right now, but it sounds like I'm talking with a tongue ring. And yeah, I'll be doing some gargling with salt water later. I also have a tub again tonight, so I'm gonna be taking advantage of that. But yeah, super stoked to be able to do my rest day here. I was hoping for the right situation, the right village to do it in, and this is it. This is like, I mean, it's not like a big city. It's a big medieval city. Well, a small medieval village, but it's intact and it's awesome. It's got a slew of museums that I'm super excited to see, including the Museum of Torture. Yeah, who knew it was here? So, gonna check that out. A lot of cool little knick-knack shops and mementos and stuff like that. It actually, I see a lot of crossover between here and Osabrero. Some of the same tchotchkes being sold at both places, but you know, it's that Gaelic Celtic flavor. So very, very cool. I like this. I mean, it's a touristy little spot, but I really like the ancient vibe it possesses, and it's quite, it's kind of a balance of things, but it's very peaceful to me. And it's good to see like these ancient spaces occupied. You walk through many villages like this in Spain when doing the Frances, the Norte, or any one of these. And they're not peopled anymore, so they feel kind of weird. This is great to see life in it again, so I like that. It's like a celebration of these ancient spaces. And yeah, so looking forward to having a rest day. And my friends that I've made along the way that are kind of a stage behind me. It's weird, I'm seeing some people on this stage, and I know some people have already taken rest days, so they're behind me. So they'll be catching up to me tomorrow-ish at some point. And that will be cool to see them again. And this is my advice for you. If you're ever on a Camino and you're not connecting with people or whatnot, you can always change the channel, is what I like to call it. And that's either hike ahead a stage or do a rest day. And then there'll be a whole bunch of new faces and people you haven't met yet. See, Camino cough every time. Granted, I almost made it 2 weeks, but we'll see how long it lasts. Typically, it's like 4 days. It's a cold at the end of the day, but I think I hope I'm gonna beat it this time, but we'll see. Again, it's already been almost 2 weeks. Any signs of anything, so tells me I'm stronger. I thought I was gonna make it this entire time. I really thought I had it down. We'll see. Maybe this is only one night. If I get to bed early enough, I might be able to make it happen. I didn't sleep well last night. I think that had a lot to do with me feeling a little shit today. So, ooh, I cursed. Sorry. But yeah, let's just run that. And I'll do more filming tomorrow. I'll do a little mini tour. And yeah, looking forward to this. So thanks for tuning in. And maybe I'll pop back in before I will, of course. I gotta say goodnight to you guys. I can't really can't end it here. It's only 6:30, right? That'd be weak, unless I pass the hell out. Oh, I swore again. See, I'm excited. Day off, finally. Almost 2 weeks of hiking straight. No rest days. Okay, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Boing, come here.
Thanks for tuning in to another soul-searching, soothing episode of The Misadventures of a Shell Toucher. Join us next week, folks, for, well, my tour of the Museum of Torture. Until then,
Buen camino.